Okay, sorry for that little interruption. My brother just came home and was calling the dog, and I really didn't want voices down here, so I closed the door, and I figured while I was at it, transfer the first part of this video over and get myself some more space. For some reason, I have 23 minutes left on this. Yes, and I really should check the card, because I think with a card I can have like up to 2 hours. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. Well, anyway, back to the Rise of Cobra Commander. You know, he's got this pink head here. And, yeah. The other thing is, and I can't really show it that well from a distance, it's one of those really fine details, but his eye on this side looks kind of crushed, and I have no idea why. Because in the movie all he did was put on the mask, but this actually makes it look like he's been through much worse. His eye is like crushed and stuff, and I have no, and in this mask it really looks kind of laughable. So there's that. They actually improved it, with the Rise of Cobra. With the Pursuit of Cobra Commander, which has a much more badass looking mask. And posability wise, same deal as you'd expect. Act pretty fluent in bending, movement and stuff. Head turns, has his little scalpel. But really, it's the Cobra that steals the show. I mean, having a Cobra near the Cobra Commander, that's pretty awesome. Okay, so next we come to the 25th anniversary Cobra Commanders. Now, these two are going to actually be reviewed together because they're actually the exact same figure, but with different paint, and one's the helmet, one's the hood. Sorry, I still have a bit of a cough. The hood in the TV show and in the comics was used whenever he was in the base. Whenever he was in the base, he would put on the hood and wear that. And then when he was out in the battlefield, he'd wear the helmet. And that really was important to him, because there would be times where he'd go to a meeting or something and have the hood, and then he'd come under attack and get the helmet on. I kind of sort of look at the hood as being a little bit of nightgown, in Cobra Commander. That's what it looks like. It looks like he's turning in for the night, and this is like his pajama head. But anyway, these are both the same figure, but with a different sculpt, and I actually want to note something quite interesting. You notice that the Cobra Commander with the helmet is much more brighter in terms of color, whereas this one is much darker. And I kind of think these two who make quite the duo, because the colored one, and it also seems like the hood was more recognizable and more iconic in the comics, and the helmet was more recognizable and iconic in the TV show. So if you ask me, these Cobra Commanders represent the different versions in the comics and the cartoon shows. The one with the helmet is bright and colorful, illustrating how bright and stuff that the cartoon was, how it was a little less serious than the comic and more childish. Whereas this Cobra Commander with its dark colors represents hence the comic, showing how much more serious, how much darker it was than the cartoon show. So I sort of refer to these two as the Cobra Commander brothers. It's in a way. But they're both the same figure. They both come with their blaster, which I did bring up with the Rise of Cobra Commander. But the big difference between these is it has a little peg. See it right there? Has a little peg which hitch can therefore hook onto their backs like so. Oh, and you notice they also have some different paint applications. This one has this whole holster covered gold. This one only has the space around it colored gold. And as a tradition for all battle helmets, Cobra Commander, the top part can come off and clip on. So you have them just like that. And you notice here he also has a little bit of a gold inside it. And if I can get with real details, actually, this sort of shows some connection. So that's actually pretty cool, because I know there are other Cobra Commanders that just have that notch there and no real detail put into it. I really wish I could show that. But that's pretty awesome. That's sort of a tradition of battle helmet Cobra Commanders, where that part of the helmet is removable. But in reality, these figures really do these figures here really have practically nothing to do but just stand there and be leading the troops. They're pretty awesome if you like Cobra Commander and want to put them on display. But in terms of what goes for other Joes, one thing I also have found, and I find this pretty weird here a bit, is there's no Cobra logo on the hood part of the mask. I don't know why they didn't do that. I mean, I think there have been some times where he's had it without, but in most medias he has a Cobra logo there. So again, they have posability, but if you're really looking for a G.I. Joe that has all kinds of equipment and advanced it's cool stuff, these figures really aren't that. All they have is the gun. It's generally all they need. I mean, they do just sort of look cool, but they're really not as... They really don't have all the playable equipment that some other G.I. Joes may have. And so... that is sort of a bit of a bummer. Right there. Guy's coming out of his... Guy didn't want to go in. So now we come to my personal favorite Cobra Commander, which comes from Resolute. And this guy is my personal favorite of all the Cobra Commanders because of how built up he is. Yes, look at that. Yeah, he's got a cape. He got a small cape here. There, he's got his waist cape. And he's actually got gloves very similar to that Cobra Commander in the battle helmet. Yeah, just... Here.